You know that feeling when you're talking to your AI assistant and it feels like you're talking to a genius who's, well, trapped behind a glass wall? It can write a song, it can debug code, it can brainstorm business ideas, but it can't actually do anything for you? Well, guess what? Today, we're shattering that glass. We are going to talk about the tech that is finally letting our AIs out of the box to become powerful doers, not just smart talkers. So first up, let's really dig into the problem, the thing that, until just recently, has kept AI on a really tight leash.
I mean, think about it. You've got this amazingly powerful large language model, right? But where does it live? It lives inside one single app. It can't go out and click buttons for you in your other programs. It can't organize the files on your desktop. It definitely can't fire off a Slack message for you. It's totally isolated, stuck in its own digital prison. And that has been a huge limit on how useful it can really be.
The whole issue really just boils down to connection. There's been no universal language, no standard way for AIs to talk to all the other software we use. Every single attempt to connect them was a custom, messy, one-time job. But what if there was a universal key?
And that leads us right to the solution. And honestly, it's one of those ideas that is so simple and so powerful, you're going to wonder, why didn't this exist before? So just look at this comparison. On the left, that's the old way. It is a chaotic, tangled mess. If you wanted your AI to connect to 10 different apps, you literally needed 10 different custom-made and super fragile integrations. It was a total nightmare. But on the right, that's the new way. One single standard plug, a universal adapter for AI. And hey, that's not just my analogy. The creators of this thing themselves call it the USB-C for AI. It's called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short, and it creates one single standard that lets any AI app talk to any other tool. It's the perfect way to think about it. One plug to connect them all. And you know, this isn't some science fiction tech that's years away. MCV was actually launched by Anthropic in late 2024. It was almost immediately open sourced and given to the Linux Foundation. And right now, there are hundreds of these connectors being built by the community on GitHub. This is happening as we speak. So how in the world does this universal key actually work? Let's pop the hood for a minute, but I promise we're going to keep it really, really simple.
Okay, so MCP breaks it all down into three simple ideas. First, you have tools. These are the actions the AI can take, the verbs, like send email or create file. Second, you have resources, which is the info the AI can read, like a specific Google Doc or maybe an entry in a data piece. And finally, you have prompts, which are basically reusable recipes that bundle tools and resources together to do more complicated stuff.
The way it works is a classic client-server setup. The AI is the client. It makes a request. That request goes to a tiny, secure little program called an MCP server that you control. That server is the bridge. It's the thing that has permission to access your other apps. And the cool thing is, this can all run instantly right on your own machine, or it can run securely over the internet. All right, so we've covered the how. Now it's time for the wow. Let's get away from the technical stuff and get into the really transformational part. What can you actually do when your AI is finally connected to the rest of your world? Okay, here's an awesome example. FFmpeg is this really powerful but kind of complicated command line tool for editing videos. By connecting it to an AI through an MCP server, you can just talk to it. You can say, hey, go into this folder with 100 long videos and cut a 15-second highlight clip from each one. And it just goes and does it. It's incredible. Or just think about your messy cloud drive for a second. You could just ask your AI, hey, can you find every single invoice from last year, rename them all with the date and the company name, and then move them into a new folder called 2025 taxes? A task that would take you, hours? Done in seconds.
And it's not just for heavy-duty work. You could literally hook your AI up to a food delivery app and just say, order my usual from the cafe down the street. The possibilities here are just staggering. From huge industrial-scale automation all the way down to just making your daily life a little bit easier.
Now, giving an AI this much power obviously raises a really, really important question. And it's one that the folks who built MCP thought about very, very carefully. And that's safety. When the AI wants to delete one of your files or send an email from your account, or maybe even spend your money, who gets to make the final call? You are. That's the answer. And that is the most crucial part of this whole system. Not a single thing happens without your direct permission. For every single operation, a prompt pops up asking you to allow or deny it. You are always the pilot. The AI is an incredibly powerful co-pilot, but it only acts on your command.
So let's bring all this home and really look at the fundamental shift in thinking that this technology represents. Here's a quick little cheat sheet just to lock in all the main ideas. So it's the Model Context Protocol, MCP. The best analogy is USB-C for AI. It's built on those three building blocks: tools, resources, and prompts. And your security is always protected by that per-action allow/deny prompt. The real magic happens when you combine your own custom workflows, your skills, with MCP's power to actually get things done.
And that right there is the big headline. An assistant suggests things. An agent actually does things. MCP is the engine that finally allows that leap, transforming our AIs from these passive chat buddies into active, powerful agents that can do work for us in the digital world.
You see, this isn't just about making a few tasks a little faster. This is about fundamentally changing our relationship with computers, about automating the tedious stuff and unlocking a whole new level of creativity. So the only question that's left is this: now that your AI has the universal key, what is the very first door